What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Kicking it back to some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel making. This is going to be our second to last deck list that I'm going to be showcasing you guys. Yes, I know at last one I said this would be the last one, but I'm a known liar at this point. I've just been having too much fun making some decks and all that stuff, and this is going to be the next deck that I'm premiering to you guys, featuring the brand new, well, not really brand new, but the new Spellbook structure deck that I actually picked up 3 of, and we're going to be rocking a Spellcaster deck. Now, this deck has 3 main engines in it, and it is Dark Magician, Spellbooks, and Invoked, and with just some other stuff thrown in there, like a sprinkling of Dogmatica just to kind of help out the deck. Now, I'm going to do something a little different for this deck list showcasing and kind of going forward in the future. I would like you guys to give me your thoughts on how I'm going to be doing this going forward, but instead of just reading every little bit of the card to try and like explain its purpose, I'm just going to try and like summarize it to why the card is in the deck, rather than going through every little bit and explaining what it like every last detail of the card. Let me know what you guys think of this change. If you guys want me to go back, I am more than willing to go back. But I just want to try something new, and maybe hopefully cut down the time that these videos do end up taking. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Top left, bottom right. We got 2 Dark Magicians. Don't really need to say anything else. We have 3 Magician Souls you really want to draw into this card as often as possible. The main meat of this card is to just discard it from your hand, so you can send a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl to the graveyard, so you can special summon them from the graveyard. That is the main purpose of this card. Next up, Maxi, we just played 2 of it. It's nice to just draw into more cards. We want to see more cards with this deck. You want to be able to have a nice lineup in your hand in order to do what you need to do. So we play Maxi at 2. Next up, we play 3 Spellbook of Prophecy to find a spellbook. Normal summon, add a spellbook. That's all you need to do. Now we play 1 Jowgen the Spiritualist, and this combos off of the newly unbanned Spellbook of Judgment. It's mostly just for that combo piece, so when you use Spellbook of Judgment, this could be your special summon target. Get this out in the field so your opponent both of you can no longer special summon, but by the time that you're getting this guy out, you're already done with your combo, and your opponent's sitting there unable to special summon. So we played 1 of this. We don't really want to see this all too often, unless it's like a last case scenario. But next up, we play 3 Alistair the Invoked. This is literally just for the summon. Grab the invocation. The 1,000 attack and defense for a fusion monster is nice, but honestly, he's just here to help the engine kick. Next up, we play 2 Dogmatica Ecclesia the Virtuous. Now, this card is only in this deck just for its special summon purposes, just so like we can get link stuff off, get a spellbook onto Spellcaster onto the fields for some of our spellbooks and things like that. It's only in here for the special summon that it has, while you have a face-up special summoned monster. And then the 1 Dark Magician Girl, just because we kind of had to have her in the deck for a Dark Magician engine. She's a staple. We don't necessarily have to have her, but I had to throw in 1. Next up, onto the Spells and Traps, we play 3 Spellbook of Secrets. It allows us to just grab a spellbook, much like a Spellbook of Prophecy. Played it at 3, one of the main engines. We play 2 Invocations, just so we can get our fusion plays off. You know, with Alistair, get all of our invoked and stuff out. And it's also kind of nice to have if you can use it for our other fusions with cards that you can have in your hand. Next up, we play 2 Spellbook of Knowledge, just so you can get the draw 2 power by discarding a Spellcaster or sending a Spellcaster monster we control to the graveyard. Draw engine. We want to draw. That's the main purpose of this deck. So we just want to keep on drawing. And then we play 1 Magicalized Fusion, just for any of our fusion plays, and to possibly get out Quintet Magician. 2 Secret Village of the Spellcasters. This is the dickhead card of the deck, to completely lock your opponent out of playing spell cards. I am not a big fan of Floodgates, but I was willing to make the exception just for this deck, considering, hey, you know, we gotta have some little bit of an edge with this deck, you know. And honestly, it's not as strong. Even just pure Dark Magician really isn't as strong, so we gotta get some little bit of oomph into this deck as best as we can. Next up, we play 3 Dark Magical Circle. It's just for the Dark Magician plays. As we all know, you special summon the Dark Magician, or you summon the Dark Magician, you can banish something on the field. but the search engine that it has to find any spells and traps or spells and traps or dark magicians and dark magician girls to get them to our hand is pretty nice, sending them to the top of drawing them from the top 3 cards of our deck. Now we play 2 Spellbook of Fate. This is great for anything that we can utilize this card for, but its main purpose is just to banish 3 spellbooks to banish 1 card your opponent controls. If you have to use any of the other ones, always aim for the number 2, so you can change a monster to face down defense position. This is always really nice, but the main meat is to banish a card, and since it's a quick play, it's very strong. Definitely one of the main spellbooks that you want to be running. Then we play the 1 Spellbook of Judgment, the newly unbanned Spellbook of Judgment. So the way this card works, just for those who are unfamiliar, and since it's only at 1, you won't see it all too often, but for every spell card that you activate after you activate this card, you can search your deck for spell books up to the number of spells that you activated, so you can add them to your hand, and then you can special summon a monster from your deck whose level is equal to or lower to the amount of spells that you activated, which is Jaugen. So ultimately with this card, you want to activate it, hope with the idea of having 3 spells that you can activate for Spellbook of Judgment, so you can get Jaugen out on the field at the end of the turn, and that's why it's so strong. 2 Called by the Grave. We play 2 Soul Servant. You can play this at 3, but I'm fine with it just being at 2. Just for the draw power that you can have with Dark Magicians, being Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl, or anything that lists Dark Magician while this card is in your graveyard, and to specifically search and grab whatever you need off the top of your deck with Dark Magical Circle or other draws that you could possibly have. It's a great combo tool. 2 Imperm, 1 Dogmatic Punishment. It works very well with the deck and giving us access to a free pop if the conditions are met, because the way that it works is you target 1 monster on the field with equal to or higher attack, and send 1 card from equal to or higher attack from your extra deck to pop it. Now we can essentially pop anything because we have Quintet Magician, but the main thing is that you want to use this card, which I'll explain this one in a second, to send this away to get off its effect to pop another card. So that's pretty much primarily what you want to be using Dogmatic Punishment for. Just keep in mind that when you activate this card, you cannot special summon stuff from your extra deck after the turn until the end of your next turn. So keep that in mind when you use that, but it's perfectly fine considering we have the Dark Magician deck in here, and we can completely survive without our extra deck for at least 1 turn if the time comes. And then 2 Eternal Soul, just to use special summon our Dark Magicians for the Dark Magical Circle plays. It has been brought to my attention that I could be playing the Dark Magician Knight, the Dragon Knight, and there's a different variant of a Dark Magician deck to play that. I just didn't really feel like it fit into this deck personally, considering that we are sticking a bunch of stuff in, and just taking in the 1 spell card just felt a little weird to me personally. I was trying to go for a different aim with this deck, so that is why we don't play that. But of course, you need your Eternal Souls if you're going to be playing any Dark Magician. Now, onto the extra deck, Elder Entity and Nintes. I don't know how the hell you pronounce that. It is only here for the Dogmatic Punishment plays. When it is sent from the extra deck to the graveyard, you can choose 1 card your opponent controls and destroy it. That's literally the only reason why this thing is in the deck. That's the only reason why I play it. Invoked Cocytus, I'm going to be honest, it's only here because we do have a water monster. Not really going to be seeing this all too often. It cannot be destroyed. Opponent cannot target this card with card effects, so it's kind of nice to just get out something on the field and put it in defense position. It's pretty tough to get over, and it can attack while it is in defense position, using its attack as a calculation. But ultimately, you're not going to use it too much, but it's nice to have just to fill the slot. Next up, the Dark Magicians. Very stable card in the Dark Magician deck. You want to be playing this anytime you are playing any form of Dark Magician. It's great for the draw power that it has. It's a good beater, and then if it gets sent away, if this card is destroyed, you can special summon both 1 Dark Magician and 1 Dark Magician Girl from your deck or hand or graveyard, so you refill your field after it gets destroyed and goes away. Next up, we play Invoked Egoitus. Its sole purpose is for the pop that you get when you fusion summon this thing off of having your Mechabuzz in the graveyard. Very, very unique card, very strong card. Great for defense position if you need it, but it's only in here for the destruction that you get off of special summoning it. Next up, 2 Invoke Mecca. Everyone knows this card. It's here for the negation. That's pretty much it. Um, if you have a spell in your hand, monster in your hand, trap in your hand, you can negate any of those that your opponent tries to play. It's very nice for that feature. We play it at 2 because it's one of our main cards that we want to be going into most often. Quintet Magician. Now, if we could successfully get 5 materials for this thing, that's a whole board wipe. It has to be different named cards, but it's a whole board wipe. And then when you get this thing out here, this face-up card cannot be tributed nor used as fusion material, and it also cannot be destroyed by card effects. It's really, really hard to get this thing away. It's immune to Super Poly. It's immune to Kaijus. This thing, once it gets out in the field, it's super hard to get rid of this. And 9 times out of 10, when you get this thing out in the field, you're going to be winning the game. So, of course, we have to play it. It's pretty easy to pull off, too, with Magical Eyes Fusion. Next up, 1, Hierophant of Prophecy. I love this card for the fact that it's a spell and trap destruction. Per spell books that you have in the graveyard, you can essentially get rid of their entire field because it's pretty much the entire purpose of this card. It's a very nice rank 7 that we run into, and it's pretty easy to get out since we're going to be special summoning Dark Magicians all over the place. Next up, Iman High Magician. This card is cool because you can activate quick plays and trap cards during your hand during your opponent's turn by detaching a material. And then if it's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if it's sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon another Dark Magician. Then target 1 card on the field and destroy it. It's pretty nice. I like this card a lot. It's definitely one of our go-to ranked plays. Next up, we play Zeus. If we have Xyz, we might as well be playing Zeus. Link Spider for sending away our Dark Magicians for Dark Magical Circle plays. Artemis, just so we can link away Alistair, so he's in the graveyard for invocation. 1, Crowley, the First Prophecies. This is nice for getting away. This is nice for another option of getting away our Dark Magician. And it's also nice because we can search out spell books with this thing. It's pretty good because you can choose up to 3 spell books with different names from your deck, and they randomly pick from 1. So it's nice for sending away our Dark Magicians. It's a different option than Link Spider, and we actually get a little bit more benefit out of it. I like this card. We played at 1. Verte Anaconda, and then Access Code Talker. And there we go. That's pretty much the deck. That is our Spellcaster deck. Sorry if I'm stuttering a lot in this video. I do apologize for that, but this is the first time I'm doing a deck list in this style, trying to summarize it, rather than reading the whole card list as I usually do. So let me know what you guys think of this style of deck list down below. If you guys want me to return to just reading off the cards so you guys can understand the deck a little bit better, by all means, let me know what you guys think down below. But this is my Spellcaster deck featuring Dark Magician, Invoked, and Spellbooks. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'll see you next time. See you.